All right, let's do a PSA order. These were shipped off, I think like last September maybe, and they came back a few weeks ago. So 10, 11 month turnaround, which, you know, that's pretty typical of cards like this. Things were like the economies or something. So everything had a declared value under 99. I think we've got all the sports that I collect and sell represented. Thought it was a good order. So better than typical. I must have gotten a different grader. The last like three bulks were pretty bad. The grader just didn't have much experience, I don't think, with these sets. So um, we'll start off with this one. Starting off at like the 98, 99 football, which was kind of like my bread and butter. The rookies and stars, Manning. Great image on that. Great set. Those fell 1 in 4 packs. I think the rookie checklist was at least 50. So if you do the odds, you probably get like one of those a case, one or two a case. Nice shine. I don't like how they put the non-protected refractor on there. I always peel the refractor. Some people like it on. It's a preference thing, but the actual refractor says remove refractor, and I think it just looks so much better. But the people that keep the refractor on, I understand why they do it, because that's the way the card came in the pack, and I can also respect that. So each people can have different ways and views on a subject, and not be wrong. Bowman Chrome Moss, $60 card in a 9, I would guess. There's a lot of 9s, I will tell you that. Here's a 10 though on the Bowman. This card was over 500, I think, at one point. It's probably crept back. I'll put this is the type of card that I would put some market data at the bottom for. Just a Peyton Manning Bowman rookie, but nice one. The rookies and stars, Moss gets a 10. That's the UD3 Future Shock Moss in a 9. Upper Deck Choice. This is akin to Score. Low end. These were definitely retail. Definitely printed a ton of these. But there's some collectability in it because it's Upper Deck, and it's kind of neat how he's in the college uniform. That was probably a product that released in the summer of '98, if I had to guess. I don't know if you could ever find the actual release data on each specific release from this year, but it would be interesting just to see when the sets came out. I think I could get a rough estimate just based on the way the market's always been, but it'd be interesting. Bowman Moss, I think those are about 100, 125. Here's a Bowman 9, so I just kind of have a good feel for this set. Just after you grade them for a decade, you just kind of know what you have with certain cards. Finest Ricky, obviously I thought this card was a 10. There's not much value in a 9, but Peyton Manning Score. This is one that's like 50, 60 and a 9. Of course, 10s are tough to get with this card because of the black here in the center and top to bottom, but PSA 9 on that one's definitely respectable. 94 Collector's Choice Jeter. Second year, low-end card, probably a $25 card and a 9 there. Your base tops in a 9. That's the flagship version. This one surprised me. Tops gold Jeter in a 10, 93. Bowman in a 9. Just the right to left. The top to bottom's not perfect either, but a 9 on that one. Here's a pack pulled pup. The Score Dream Team Jeter Not Jeter, Griffey, and a 9. It's center, didn't have any flaws, so I figured it'd be an easy 10 as a low-end card, but they gave it a 9. Pack pulled. It's a card that I was looking for Bettis and Strahan rookies. I think the 93 Skybox Premium. And I put aside some of the key Hall of Famers like Emmett, Rice, and Sanders. And then this one looked clean, sent it in. Jordan, 93 Tops 101 and a 9. I thought this was neat because it's the Collector's Choice Gold, so it kind of reminded me of the 94 Collector's Choice Gold Signature Baseball. But this is just the team name is gold. There's a base version with nothing. The silver is, the Colts is silver, and then that's the gold one. Here's another neat one. We got the Bowman's Best Red Refractor and a 9. Fleer update, A-Rod. '93 score. Pack pulled and centered, so I don't know. Here's the traded box set. Just looking for the Todd Helton and just pulling aside some of the key guys. These examples look good, so I sent them in. Maddox and Piazza. Of course, back then grading was cheap, so the days of sending in cards like this are over. 93 Tops prospect catchers. You got Delgado and Piazza on there. That always looked like Jeter to me. I mean, obviously it's not, but that one got a 10. Here's the score. This probably came out of the same pack as that Bonds. Not same pack, but same box. Just an interesting card, 95 score, Sap. I was having a ball. This was all like summer of 2020. I was busting all these junk waxes and just compiling lots of cards I thought were, 10s or easy 9s and just sending them in for lower rates. That was kind of a great time in the hobby. Museum collection. Barry Bonds. That's a cool shiner. This card looks conditions exactly the same as the Bonds, but the Bonds got a 9 and this got a 10, so who knows, right? Here's Kobe. Some Kobe's coming up. Skybox Premium gets a 9. Decent example. These typically have white on the corners of the edges, so I was shooting for 9s on these Kobe's, I think. Here's another one. This is the Stadium Club Rookies one. This is the weird upper deck one. This one got an 8. Picture Perfect Griffey, an 8 too. Cool insert. It's out of 5,000. This one got an 8. It's got a refractor line across the middle, so I definitely agree with that. See that line right across the card? I think that's enough to push anything down to an 8. But it is still a neat card, the 95 Bowman's Best Red. I'll probably end up putting this in the store and holding out for a 9s for the Griffey collection. But great card, good shine on that pup. Here's the great gloves, just a low-end Griffey. That gets the 9. Bowman's Best Blue Jeter as well with the 9. These 95 Bowmans, I think these all came out of the same box. Broke a box of this stuff just for fun. I think the box was like $100. So Bartolo Colon with the black tooth on the back there. It's either, it's like a gold tooth or a black tooth. Bartolo Colon. I think he finally retired. He's like 50. Andrew Jones gets a 10. Bobby Abreu, who actually his career war was around 60, I think, 50 or 60. He had a great career. That's his rookie from 95 Bowman. Ultra Award winner Griffey in a 9. That was definitely from a pack. This card's probably got some value. Mere Gold Bonds in a 10 from 95 Select. Good shine, too. Here's Dion. 95 Bowman. This is probably a pop one. I don't know who else would grade this card, but it's Deion Sanders. It's a cool looking set, so I sent it in. Hot Glove Bonds from 95 gets a 10. Just the refractor. Yeah, the refractor. This Andrew Jones, it's got the line too, so I think I had on my sheet I had this as an 8 because of the line, but they gave it a 9, so don't know. Probably end up selling it. Try to find one without the line. Good shine. A couple of these choice gold chippers. This is the first one. Of course, he signs it Larry Wayne Jones. And then Vlad gets a 9 on the Bowman. $50 card at a 9. Probably 225 and a 10. Something like that. This is cool. Elite Series Bonds gets a 9. And this is a pretty iconic set. Crazy shine. This card is well ahead of its time. And that's I'm going to keep that one in the collection. I like that one. Pros and Prospects Vic game jersey in a 9. Here's some Vic stuff coming up. This is the Vanguard Red. It's out of 10. Light scratching on the front, so a 9 is definitely fair on that one. SP Authentic, this is the gold. These are very undervalued. Of course, there's the Breeze and Tomlinson in this set too, but there's only 100 of them. It's got the SP Authentic. It says Future Watch on it. It's got the same card number as the RPA for him, which is interesting. So this one gets a 9. Great card. I think that's the same photo too on the RPA, that throwing motion. Continuing on. The Bowman's Best to 400. That's the refractor. Nice shine on that one. 98. Sabathia, your top traded. Pull from a box set. I don't think I've gotten a 10 on this card yet. Typically, they're off-centered right to left. This one's probably 60-40. The rest of the card's clean, but I would say if they would have 10 this, I would have said it's a weak 10, so... Here's another mint 9, same card. Value on this probably $50. This has some good shine. This will go into the Bonds collection. But the 99 Bowman Chrome refractor. I mean, these are tough pulls. If you ever break this old product, you probably get 2 refractors a box, 300 card set maybe, or so. So do the math on that. The odds of actually pulling a Bonds or a player that you're looking for. So I've always put a lot of value into those cards. Topps traded Pujols. This was a great copy. I thought it had... I think I had it as a 9.5, so a mint 9. That's the Topps collection, and that's a mint 9. This will be a 7. There's rough edges. But the front is LT. It's an interesting card. It's the round numbers auto from 01 Contenders. And the back, you've got Vic. Top stars, Pujols. Like it's a 9. Is this the chrome? Here's another traded. Comparing it to the last example, you know, they're pretty comparable. Centering's good on these. I mean, these are great copies. Sifted through a lot of raws to find copies like this. Part of the grind. There's a 9. Jamal Lewis. Sign of the Times. That one's not numbered. Like it's a 9. This one snuck in there. It's kind of a rough copy, but you know, cards like this, it's back in the time when I sent this and the grading was so cheap, I snuck these in there because I've got some bad corners, and I figured I'd rather just sell them graded rather than raw. Here's another 7. So I think both of these will end up hitting the store via auction format. So if you're on the lookout for a Brady, I think the second one looks a little better. Keep your eyes peeled for this one because those will be auctioned off, and those will probably go under $300. So I know it's not like the cheapest price, but it's a lot better than a lot of the other prices you'll have to pay to get a Brady rookie. And that's the upper deck, which is to me it's a pretty iconic one. Your LT, that's the Bowman Chrome Refractor, 1999. Crazy Shine. It's an interesting one, just a thicker cardstock card that I wanted slabbed. The expectations were like 7 or 8 when I sent it in. But it's the Vic Red. It's got a print of 150. Interesting card. PSA 7 on the Vic. The Breeze Vintage. They gave this one a 10. Yeah, it looks good. It's center. I don't really see any white, so seems fair. Flagship Vics. I think there's a couple of these that came into this order. This is probably a $35 card, I would have to guess. So 2 9s on this. Not the easiest set though. If you ever sift through copies of that, you'll see a lot of off-centered ones and just corner and edge issues. This is to 50, so this is a second-year Vic. It's the Bowman Paper Gold. It's got some edging, some white, so definitely looks like an 8. Here's Bowman's Best in a 10. The back's clean on that. Sometimes you'll see white, and the front looks pretty good too. So Bowman's Best Vic. It's not a refractor, but it's got that look to it. It's just a base rookie from the set. Same set. This is the autographed issue, the certified autograph. I always thought this card was neat looking. It's also on card, so that adds to the mystique of the card. I think they gave this a 10. Yeah, they gave this Fleer one a 10. It's got the centering. I don't know what I screened this one at. Probably a 9+, but this one got the bump. You know, if I snapped it out and sent it in next week, of course it would take months to get back, but it'd probably come back a 9. So that just shows you the 9-10 thing. I don't know why you'd snap out a 10, but just if you were doing an experiment, I would put money on that coming back a 9. Vic 311 tops again. That's another 9. I think that's the third one of that we've seen. Carson Palmer, the Hall of Good. You know, he was a good player. Racked up some stats. He's probably top 15 in passing yards or so, top 20 maybe, top 25 in passing touchdowns. But this is his SPX. I always thought this card was neat because 2003 is the year when I started kind of seeing cards as a way to, buy the higher end cards, and this set just means a lot to me. 2003 SPX. Of course, Byron Leftwich is in it too. Platinum Medallion, 100. That's the Breeze. That's a third-year Breeze Platinum Medallion. And a 9. There's a lot of neat cards in this order. Star Rookies, Ed Reed. I think this was screened at an 8.5, so I'll probably sell it. So 8.5 Reed. Topps Chrome Vic. This one's got the 70, 65, 35 maybe right to left. I would say mostly all copies have the scratch, the light scratching on the front with this set, so. This is the base. We saw the collection. Here's the base in a 9 of LT. We're going right into junk wax. Rafael Palmeiro. This is the 8 pulled from the box set. He's kind of in the middle of the set. Like the top's Maguire, the bottom's Bo Jackson. So those are always, the corners are always messed up on those. But Maddox and Raffy are in there, along with like Wally Joyner and guys like that. I'm shocked they gave a 10 on this one. Not that it's worth a lot of money or anything, but it's just tough to get 10s on cards like this. So they gave a 10 on that Raphael. A couple Tiffany's. These were both, I thought they were 8.5 to 9 condition, and they both got 9. See, that back centering's pretty rough on this one. Front centering's good, though, and that's weighted more heavily, as it should be, in my opinion. Here's one. Let's look at the back on that one. See, that one's a lot nicer. So on the front's almost as good. So if you were at a show, you'd probably pick this one. But it kind of depends on your preference. Here's the Bellingham issue. This is, what, $200 maybe $750 and a 10. So just a nice Mariners team issue from 87. I would call that an XRC. Here's some pack-pulled pups. Dickerson, just centered up without corner or edge issues. So I figured these had great shots at 10s. It gets a 9. Barry Sanders, that's your score. It's got some whitening there. It's a little off-centered. You know, it's probably a weaker 9. Here's the pro set. Two most important things on this is your top to bottom, your right to left, and then every once in a while there's a little chipping on this card, but not much. I think there's some 9s now. It's a 9. Here's a 10. 9s and 10s look pretty much identical. Yeah. Centering, etc. That one's off-centered. But traded Barry. This card's probably close to 100. Dion Pro Set. So Pro Set Dion and a 10. Here's some box set Randy's. I think there's just one of this Randy, but the Randy box set from 89, Don Russell rookies. That's off top to bottom. That's fair. It's crazy. I can look at these sets quick and just tell you. See, this one's on point. This Brett. That one might be just a little off both ways, but it's awfully close, that Ozzy. And then don't laugh when I show this one, but during the winter I sold a PSA 10 of this in auction for like $200. So I sent this one in, you know, for the low grading fee, thinking it had a great chance at a 10. It got a 9, but it's a blazer. It's the best 9 you'll ever see. And then here's a traded 8. So we saw a couple 9s. Here's the 8. A little more whiting on that bottom edge, but overall still a nice example. And the right to left might be a tad weaker. So strong 8 though. Continuing on now. The score, Manning. The Collector's Edge, Randy Moss. Don't really know much about this card. I think it's type of retail card, but not really the most appealing Moss. That one will definitely go in auction. Grab some more from this box. It's an interesting one. That's the '07 finest LeBron refractor. It's got good shine. Calvin Johnson Bowman. Probably a decent card here, $50. You would suspect, right? Thicker, so it's graded differently for whatever reason, but this was probably like a Beckett 9 or 9.5 snap out that I thought would for sure be a 9. It got an 8, so let's just look at it. I mean, there's no chipping on the front or back. Surface is kind of where they'll hammer, but this card, I'm going to put this in a different stack. That one needs to be snapped out. It's misgraded. Blue refractor Lynch, $2.99. That one got a 10. Here's an 8 on the 2007 Bowman. Let's just kind of look at the back. The front, the centering's just off. There's a little white on the edge. See that white right there in the corner? So, is this card an 8? No, I mean it's at least an 8.5. It's a great copy. So, half grades on some orders just aren't used, so it's just kind of rounded down. So I get why they gave it an 8. Rookies and Stars, the Julio 2011, kind of an interesting card, but that one got a 9. Black Diamond Single. This is the base, the most common one you'll see, and that got a 9. Stadium Club Prime Rookies Moss gets a 9. Got a couple Star Rookie Mannings. Bowman's Best Manning. Thicker, tough cardstock, kind of like the finest. But that one got a 9 as well. Edgerrin James, Players Inc. We're getting into the 9 party here. This one's off-centered. This should never be a 10. See that fatness on that border? You could even see this as an 8. This Calvin. I bet this card's got a decent market. This Gronkowski. This is the base 148 card. 148. I don't know if there's an SPA's card from this year, but 2010 tops. That one got a 10. A little surprised on that one. This was a Beckett 9.5. It's just a card for the Royals PC. And back when I graded these, the grading fee was low. You could justify so many cards, and this is it's kind of an iconic Royals card. As a fan of the championship team in 2015, this is one of the bigger cards. This might be the best card in the order in terms of value. And I know this card's over 1,000 and a 10. The Nathan McKinnon's Young Guns. There's the pink stripe by the arm. So that one got a 10. You got your SPX Julio. This one got a 9. This was a Beckett 9.5. So I don't know. I'll put that in the pile just to look it over closer, just to kind of see. Yelich Bowman Draft gets a 9. This is the silver. That's the parallel to 99. So it kind of reminded me of the UD exclusives from like the early 2000s and late 90s. So that one was cool as a 10. And then the Bowman Chrome Blue to 250. So this is kind of like a team color match with the blue and the lines. Actually, it looks really cool in person. So Calvin Johnson, that one gets a 9. I'm going to keep that one just in the collection. Exquisite. This stuff gets hammered. This copy just, had typical chipping of a thicker card. It's the Exquisite Gold, though. Exquisite Autograph Gold of Marshawn Lynch, who, could be a Hall of Famer. Kind of see it's going to be tough for backs to compile in the new age of the NFL rules and how pass friendly the league is now. So he's a guy where his stats are kind of on the border, and he was a dominating presence for years. So it would just depend. Jamal Charles Contenders. It's an interesting one. This one doesn't have a print run. Back when Contenders, they didn't number the cards, and that's how they still do it. They put out the print runs later. This one was one of the more printed ones. I don't even know if they have a print on that Charles. This card's got a. I thought they would 7 this. It's got a corner issue. When I tilt it, you guys probably can't see it, but it actually has like a wrinkle thing going on in the back left corner. I had it as a 7. I thought they would 7 it. But I mean, it's an amazing card. It's the gold refractor Calvin to 50 from Finest. So it would be hard to justify selling this even with a defect because the card's so rare that I'd probably just keep it. Sign of the Times. We got a couple of these coming up. These typically have some chipping, which is common with this set. It's not an easy set. Here's another one, Sign of the Times Gore. This is a card that you'll get $50 maybe raw. I think in a 9 it should definitely be over 100. So I'll probably keep one, sell one. The Rogers Score in a 9. This is neat. 2006 Ultra Breeze Platinum Medallion 99. So this type of order, the way the structure was like 200 to 250 cards, and they were picked more selectively so that you'll see a lot less junk wax. So if you like the junk wax, there's just not as much in these orders because the orders changed when my rep told me to start doing 200 or 250. I think about a year ago. This is a little disappointing to get an 8 on a card like this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Here's the blue, 190 or 299 on that one. I think we saw a 10 on this earlier in the video, so that one got a 9. This is a sick one, Calvin. I think the pack odds on this autograph, there's probably different groups like A. I think they had groups like A through E, and I believe A and B were the toughest pulls. That's what Topps used to do. So the Finest Cal, it's got some scratching on the sticker. That could be why it got a 9. I don't know. Here's a dumpster diving Sproles, but if you look at his all-purpose yards, he's got to be a Hall of Fame candidate. Not saying he's in. I'm just saying that the guy was productive for a long period of time in a league that doesn't warrant that because of injury. Flagship Rogers, these are like 200, 250. 10s are around 800. So just a staple card from 2005. A card that you get raw for 100, 125. Back then, graded for $8. Outside chance at 10s. Here's the SPX LeBron. Star Rookie Cal. That's a 10. This is neat because these 2005 Topps Chromes, I just know from Gores and Rogers, they're off-centered pretty bad. This one's centered up. I think I got this on Comsy for like $5 or $10, and it just came in. You don't have to worry about the corners and edges as much because the cardstock's so tough. But if the centering's on point and there's no scratching, you have a good shot at a good grade. Atomic, I think I sold one of these in my store in the spring or summer for, I think it was over 300 for the Atomic and a 10 on Calvin. So I don't know if I'll keep that one. I'm not like a huge fan of the Atomic. Star Rookie DeMarcus Ware. Always a fan of the Star Rookie. This one looked like a 10 when I sent it. Let's take a look at the overall card. It's centered. It's got no chipping, so that's probably why I thought it was a 10. I'll put that one in the stack to review. I just, at this point, is it even worth it to probably just keep it in the PC because it's such a strong 9. It's a 10 hanging out in a 9 holder. The Marcus Ware Ultra. Bowman Rogers. Typically, I just shoot for 9s on this card because it's always got chipping or it's off-centered. So definitely take a 9 on this Rogers Bowman. And this one's got very minimal chipping and slightly off-centered, so it makes sense as a 9. Whoops, bumped the cam. DeMarcus Ware, Bowman's Best Autograph Green, $5.99 print. Here's a School Rogers in a 10. The Star Rookie in a 9. Sosa, so going back to 1990. Sosa 1990 Fleer. And I noticed in this order they were handing out some 10s on, cards in the last order they wouldn't. So different grader. Like I always say, depends on the grader and the experience with the sets and etc. I think some of the newer graders don't want to come off as easy graders. These Thomases were just out of a stack that I had. I bought like a lot of 50 or 100 a couple years ago, and they're all like really, really crispy and centered. So, I thought they had, they had a chance. But typically, if you send the same card in, they give you the same grade. So, I think if I would have sent 10 of these in, I would have gotten 10 nines. Maddox Donruss. Junk Wax Maddox. I'm going to keep that one because it's so hard to grind for a 10 on that set. Here's a Donruss Canseco with the mullet. He's got the hockey mullet, the Barry Melrose cut. I think Melrose still has that haircut. This one should be a 10. Just dead centered. Top to bottom, right to left's on point. It's not really tough for chipping and edges on this card. It comes from a factory set. Put that one in the review stack. These were actually SGC 10s. I just snapped them out. I was just doing a little experiment. I got the SGC 10s years ago for like $60, and I just wanted to see if they would 10 them, and they did. I was a little surprised because they're definitely worthy of 10 status. They've got the centering and no defects. So they 10 those two Jordans. That card was like $900 in the winter. I think it's like $300 now, which seems more sustainable. That card 910 seems crazy. Lawrence Taylor Fleer, dead centered from the pack with no flaws, should be a 10, and it is. This Brett, I think the top to bottom, I think the Brett's too high to the top. Yeah, I think that one makes sense as a 9. That one's off. Here's some traded Deons. These were just from the factory sets. Yeah, I'd have to look at them closer. But, cards I thought were easy 9s, possible 10s. Same with the Griffies. But Griffey gets a 9 on the traded. These ones are off-centered, though. Yeah, that one's right to left. This one's, I can just look at them quick and kind of see. Barely top to bottom on the second one. Fleer Griffies. I'm a master of 9s on this card. Which I don't know if that's a great thing because the value is like $35. So like going forward, I don't think I would ever grade a Fleer Griffey at PSA because I think when they come back, that bulk pricing is going to be up there, maybe $75 a card. I think people are pretty naive to think they're going to come back and bring back like $10 or $15 bulk pricing. I mean, I would bet they would not do that because they don't need to. That they can generate the same amount of revenue grading less cards at a higher price, which they probably should have done that a while ago when the demand was so high. But you can't go back in time. Star Rookie Griffey, but now it seems like their main structure is just, I mean, they're business, so they're always trying to make money, but now it's just like really pushed forward, like they're really gonna scalp you. Here's the Bowman. So this is an interesting card because of the surface, which often has an issue on this one. But this Ortiz got an 8. That one looks pretty good, though. We'll have to look at that one again. Jason Worth. This is just a card that I thought was good enough. second look though, it might just be off a smidge top to bottom. So that might be why that one got a 9. Ray Lewis 97 Fleer. So we're just getting kind of wild with it with this one. But you send a card like this in thinking it's a 10 for sure. Same with the Aikman. Same with this card. It's probably like a. This would be lucky to be a $10 card. I don't know. There might be a. It's a second year Upper Deck base Ray Lewis. There might be a Ravens or Ray Lewis collector that would want that one. So that's the thing with a lot of these cards. It's got to find the right collector. This card's definitely got some value though. This Bowman Chrome Rollins is, I don't know, $150 I would guess. But the Rollins Bowman Chrome is the David Ortiz, the International from Bowman Chrome. Power Plus. I think this one was a little rough. Yeah, the front's pretty good. There's a little white on that top right corner. The back's got some edging, so you could justify this as an 8 just because of the back edging. But it's got some cool shine going on with that one. So here's a flagship Moss that they gave a 10 to. So like, you see that little white right there? I always say that for every 10 I see, I can find 1 or 2 flaws, and I can tell you why it should be a 9. And so like you could definitely say, oh, that should be a 9, or you can look at a lot of 9s and say, oh, that should be a 10. So I think at the end of the day, 9s and 10s are very close, which I've been saying for a long time. It's like a judgment snap decision on a lot of these because there's no half grade, but you'll pay like 10 times more for a 10, so it just kind of depends on if you're more into the card or like the resell and the slab. David Ortiz, Wave of the Future. Love this card. It's so sick. It actually says David Arias because I think 98, his cards all say David Ortiz. But David Arias Ortiz. I think that was his mom's maiden name was Ortiz. I can't remember what the story was with that one. I don't know why this one got an 8. It seems random. Metal, little white on this one, little white on the corner there. That one got an 8. That's the Griffey. I think I was shooting for a 9 on that. Here's the Iverson. That's tilted. That's off. Just off top to bottom, right to left. Damn good. This is sweet. This is a grinder. This is tough from the pack. Yeah, and it's got better top to bottom centering comparing it to that Jason Worth we saw. So I think that's what we missed on the Worth, but did pretty good so far. Here's another Rollins. So 2 10s on the Rollins is cool little Phillies card. So those were I think ComC buys $5 maybe, and that I'm gonna keep one, but I'll definitely just put one in auction just because I'm curious to see what it'll go for. Continuing. Next up is a 2016 Panini Prism Jared Goff Silver, which is technically a base card. PSA 10 on that one. Some hockey, slip it in here. Pasternak 2014 UD Young Guns. That one got a 9. That's probably decent value in a 9. I think there's a McKinnon. Here's the 2013 McKinnon. This is like the Prism Green Power to 49 in a 9. I haven't heard much at all from Goff lately. I mean, obviously he's on the Lions, but here's a 10 on this. This is like a $1,200 card and a 10, so this is one of the bigger cards in this order, value-wise. Not my favorite card in the order, but it does have value. Got Pujols Bowman in a 9. Let's take a look at the back. That's got a really clean back on it, and the right to left centering's good too. I'll probably keep this one in the collection. I think I have a 9 at home that's weaker than this, so keep this one, sell that one. Of course, there are gold variations of this, and his fake sig is in gold, I think, on those ones. Shooting for 8.5 or 9 on this, got an 8, so it's a damn good 8 though. Best 8 you'll ever see. That's the flagship Ichiro. Junk Wax. Here's Manny, 92 upper deck. That's what, a $10 card at best. You know, cards I thought were 10s when I sent them in. I just didn't see any issues with them. Here's a triple play, just, you know, pack pulled cards. They looked center, there was no white, so I figured they'd be 10s. That's why I sent them in. Here's George Brett. So with the triple plays, they just gave him all 9s. I don't know. If it's anything, it's center, and I'll have to compare it to a 10, but I'm sure it's the same. Donruss, the rookies. Pedro gets a 10. Rifleman Griffey. Cool little, it's not really an insert. It's part of the base set, but I mean, I guess you could call it an insert because it's the Rifleman on there. Gretzky. These were cards. This is a card I thought was a 10 when I sent it in. It's centered up. There's no issues. That's just a 1990 tops. I'm gonna keep that one. Score Jeter. Just another one. You know, I was having a good time with the opening the old packs, all the nostalgia, and then pulling clean cards was fun. Always fun to hunt for the clean ones. Here's Frank Thomas, 93 Score Dream Team. Not much value in this. I'll throw it in auction, but I'd be shocked if it went for over $20. Kirby Puckett. 91 Score Puckett. Tough set. They just come out of the pack with little corner issues and dents on the side, so it's actually kind of hard to find those in 10s. Here's the Chipper flagship in a 9, just centered, great copy. And this one could easily be a 10 on a different day. Here's the Bowman. Gretzky, so the assist is wrong. Not 13,000 assists. Yeah, that's a lot. 1990 tops. Card 120. Not really the best image. Larry Walker Leaf, you know. I probably thought this had a great chance at a 10. It's definitely centered good. Here's a Bowman, some 1990 Bowman bow with the crooked hat. Here's Bonds. These were from like a factory set. Cards are a little cleaner in the factory sets for the Bowmans. That's what I noticed. Diamond King's bow and a 10. I was surprised they gave a 10 on this. I thought they'd 9 this. It is awfully random though sometimes. Bo Jackson Fleer. I mean, I got these sets down to a science. Been studying these sets. I mean, but I've been going through them, and you know, I've bought 10s before, and I've kind of seen what the centering should look like. Here's the Upper Deck Bagwell. I don't know what the value is on this. I would say $40 or $50, but you know, it could be more than that. I don't think it would be less. So Bagwell Upper Deck. Here's the glossy Rogers. I don't know. I bet this is $200 card right here. This glossy. And there were a couple base ones, I think in this order that I got back, that were 9s that looked just like that one. So this has a mark on it because this is a card that I thought should be a 10. So talking about 04 SPX, it's one of the tougher sets of that year for sure. It's because of the chipping on the entire card. Back 2 has that black edge, and this one was actually, I think, a BGS 95 true gem that I didn't see any issues with. It fit the criteria for a PSA 10, so I don't know why this got a 9. I mean, look at that edge. It's like a razor. Patch windows clean too. So not sure on that one. I'll put that one aside. That one's misgraded for sure. And then this one gets a 10. So the right to left centering. (60/40). It probably looks better to you guys. It looks different in person. I don't know why. So the Fitzgerald gets a 10. That could have been a 9. Eli Finest 399 autograph. BGS gets a 9. This Eli gets a 10. Centering is identical. Backs. These cards are in the same condition. This one will sell for triple. Funny. Bowman Fitzgerald, PSA 9. Bowman Chrome gets a 9. Here's the flagship, gets a 10. That one's centered up. That one looks great. Probably keep this one. 04 Topps Football. Not the toughest, but there can be centering and surface issues on that set. Here's Bowman again in a 9. So I'm pretty good at finding the ones that should be 9s. It's kind of hard to find the 10s, and then you have to have some luck to get the 10 too. Here's the Finest. Finest is actually one of the easier sets from this year. So Finest in a 10. This was marked off because I think this was a card that should have easily been a 9, but it's thicker, so it's graded differently. But Sweet Spot Phillip, just don't understand the 8 on this one. I'm gonna put that in the stack with the other Rivers. That's a neat card though. That's out of 199. Put that over there. First edition gets a 9. Not a fan of the first editions or the Topps collections from 2001. Here's some more Bowman Chromes. Some more 9s. I think I had these marked as 9s. Minor surface issues and centering issues. I would say those. Actually, that one got a 10. Never mind. Sorry, it looked just like the 9. So this one gets a 10. And that one got a 9. Here's Score. Base Score. There is a glossy. There's some more scores. 2 10s and a 9 on the Score. Topps. So I've said it 1,000 times on the channel, but I'll say it again. If you're a collector, you should probably buy the 9 because it's most likely it's close to 10 condition, or it could be 10 condition with a different day or greater. If you're an investor, you might look at the 10 because you're not worried about the actual condition of the car. You're just looking to hold it or resell it later. Ultra Fitzgerald 500. That's a lucky 13. That one got a 9. That's a solid grade on this. Chipping can be prevalent on these lucky 13s. I've graded a pretty good amount of those over the years. Barry Bonds. This card, this card wouldn't be worth. And I don't know when they're even going to bring back bulk, or if they even will, but a card like this just won't be sent in the future, and it's not even worth it to send it to SGC for $25. So cards like that are just not going to be sent anymore, unless you think you have with SGC. Unless I thought it was a 9.5 or a 10, and with SGC they're so consistent that I can count on them giving the actual grade of the card. Now with PSA, I don't really know what they're going to give it. 87 Topps. Bonds. These are good centered copies. Steve Young gets a 9. That's probably pulled from a pack. Good copy there. Herschel Walker gets a 9. That one, see that centering? So that's an obvious card that should never be a 10. That's just that. See that card looks like a 9. I mean, maybe even an 8.5, but it's the 9s should stand out a little bit. Here's an 87 Fleer Jordan. It shouldn't be like you're looking at a 9 and it looks like a 10 or vice versa. 87 Fleer Jordan. That one's a little off top to bottom. I don't know how I came across this card. I might have got this raw and I just thought it looked pretty good. See, I've got a 7 on this for the Topps registry, Ryan. So I'll probably sell this one, but I don't know. That centering's awesome. Awesome eye appeal on this 6. So sneaking in some vintage here. A couple vintages. I think there's a Hank Aaron too. This one was, I think, an SGC 7.5 or 8 that I just sent to PSA because it was in the old SGC holder, and I thought I'd just snap it out and see what PSA gave it. And they gave it an 8. That's Hank Aaron's last playing days card. The rookies bonds from the set. See that white right there, bottom left? I can definitely see this as a 9. The Dorset's got a blue piece of painter's tape on it. I guess that means I thought it was misgraded. Back's clean with intolerance. Top to bottom with intolerance. Corners, edges clean. Yeah, I'll put that one aside. That one should be a 10 for sure. It's misgraded. 87 Topps bonds, another 9 on this one. I think 9s are $40. 9s actually hold more value than the Donruss. I think the Donruss is only like $20 in a 9. I want to say that's like a $40 card and a 9 for the Topps. It's they're both tough sets though. Here's the Bo Jackson Future Stars. So Bo, great card. And I probably found these just buying lots and sifting through them and finding the copies I thought looked the best. This was definitely from a factory set, though. The Fleer Update bonds broke open, I don't know, 40 or 50 of these last summer. I always struggle with 86 traded. I don't know why, but I always get 8s on these. Top to bottom's a little off. Right to left's great. That's an 8. Clemens did pretty well on this one. This was probably like a Beckett 9 or something that I thought looked strong. I don't think they would give it a 10, but pleased with the 9 on this Clemens 84 update. That card has dropped in value. I think 9s are only like $350 now. They used to be like $550. This is neat. I'm going to keep this one in the collection. Great centered copy of the 81 TCMA Rochester Red Wings minor league card of Cal. Just a cool card. So that one got a 9. Here's another 8 on the 86 trade. I told you guys I struggle on this set. Back centering's decent. I don't, there's a little edge shipping. My expectation on this was definitely a 9 when I sent in both of those. Pete Rose, here's an 8, and I thought this one was definitely lower because of the centering. So this one gets an 8. 73 Topps Rose. I don't think I'll keep that one. I'll look for one with better eye appeal. But that one got an 8. And the last card of the order will be the Bowman Pujols, 2001 Bowman Pujols. And this one got an 8. Let's look at the back. The back's clean on that one. The front centering's good. That's a damn good 8. Whew. That's it, guys. I hope you guys liked the order. I thought this one was better. The grader was a little more realistic with the grades. But it is still kind of random, but I guess that's what grading is. Very subjective at times. Later. I'm out.